Namaste. Welcome to the Warrior Monk Wisdom at Sunrise series. A daily dose of self-discovery can bring the calm within the storm. For when we know ourselves, the rest of the world begins to make sense. Let's flow.
Learn continually. There is always one more thing to learn. Steve Jobs. Good morning. Today we're going to talk about learning how to learn, right? And why, in some cases, it's actually very difficult for adults. Because when we're adults, we have this perception-action connection, right? We need things to have a reason. When you're a kid, there is no reason. It's literally new, right? Whenever you're never a white belt, if you will, in things as an adult, because you always have some sort of knowledge coming into a new skill, even if that knowledge is incorrect. So as adults, we see, okay, is it useful? And what's the context? This isn't necessarily the right way, but that's just kind of how we're wired, right? So what can we do? Well, working towards changing those wires in the mindset is, a good place to start. But in the meantime, we got to work within that system and be able to learn as much as we can so that way we can make those changes. There's many different learning models, but to really simplify what they are and allow for minimal cueing instruction from the outside world, you want to maximize intuitive processes, which allows you to use your brain a little bit more, and that obviously is a muscle, and that will improve your memory and things like that for the action that we are trying to learn. So there was actually a study conducted about them cueing exercises, and they had a group of people that the coaches cued every time, point out improvements and stuff like that. And then there was one that was cued every 4 attempts, and then every 10 attempts. And it was actually shown that the more that they allowed intuitive work to go through, so the every 10 cue, they actually learned faster and with a greater degree of proficiency within the action, the exercise. So that's pretty interesting. So what do we need? Well, again, we need goals. There has to be a reason to do something or to remember something or whatever. I mean, even if it's all the way down to it makes me happy and I want to learn to remember to be happy, right? So it needs to have a desirable outcome. So it's easier to learn if you want to learn something, right? So yes, you can learn without enjoyment, but as adults, it's much more difficult because, again, we already have these preconceived notions of most topics. So when people want to teach you something that you don't really have interest in, you're just going to be like, yeah, I kind of have an idea, it's fine. But you really don't have an idea, and you close yourself off to the actual educational process for that particular subject. The next thing that we need is feedback, and this is going to be a mix of intuitive feedback, what you observe of your own body and your own mind, and the context of which the information is being utilized. And then, of course, there's going to be outside feedback as well from coaches, teachers, friends, family, and you have to really go through these things to make sure that what they're saying fits your goal, it fits your agendas, and that you're not just changing everything up simply because some guy that you think is a guru is telling you to do, right? You really need to make sure that it still fits who you are. The next thing is challenge. You really do need a certain degree of challenge to stay engaged, but too much challenge, you lose motivation. So, and the next thing is capability. That one's key. Are you actually ready for the skill? And that takes self-awareness and a little bit of self-reflection. So we need to try to make sure that we have all of those things and an open mind to be able to learn new skills. All right, that is all I got for you, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for flowing with us. Remember to like, comment, share, and follow us on all your favorite platforms. Namaste.